Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year. I know it's first weekend into the new year, so hope everyone's well. Hope you've had a good week's training if you've been out on the bikes, running, swimming, whatever you've been up to. So I wanted to kick off Theo and start a few videos on like the kit that I've been using probably over the last few years, give some sort of long-term reviews, just mainly kit that I've purchased, that I've used, and hopefully be useful for some of you out there. So as we're in January, I wanted to do a bit of a video on some shoes that I purchased last year for the winter. So like many of you, especially in the UK, it's a bit damp, it's a bit miserable. A lot of times you're wearing sort of overshoes and things like that. So today's video, I wanted to kick off talking about the Fizik R5 Arctic shoe that I purchased last year. So I've worn sort of overshoes ever since I've been sort of cycling, especially through the winter months, especially more so now doing a lot of commuting. I decided last year to take the plunge just to buy a specific shoe for the winter. There's nothing wrong with overshoes generally, but actually commuting and the faff of actually in the mornings and in the evenings, putting the shoes on, putting the overshoes on, getting them all zipped up, etc, etc. Wanting to save a bit of time when I finish work or in the morning, rushing around actually just to put the shoe on and get on the bike and go, rather than having to faff around trying to put the shoes on, get the overshoes on, etc, etc. And two, just have another pair of shoes really, rather than also racing and training in the triathlon shoes, my city triathlon shoes, and just have a pair of shoes that are specifically for the winter. So yeah, so last winter purchased the Fizik Arctic R5 Arctic. So this shoe now I've been wearing all of last winter, and again wearing this winter. So as you can see, well, I generally wear this through the sort of the colder seasons. It's constructed with a sort of fully waterproof, I think it's called a Microtex shell, so fully waterproof shell on the outside of this shoe. So it sort of looks a little bit like an overshoe in a sense. Beauty of this actual material as well, although a little bit dirty at the moment because I was out on the club ride yesterday, but this is great. You can sort of take a sort of wet wipe or sponge down, clean this off, and it stays pretty clear, considering I've probably done, I don't know, a good 2,000-3,000 miles in these shoes, perhaps, through some pretty bad weather. But the shoe itself, yeah, so it's quite a clean design on the outside. Like I said, this Microtex material, a little bit of reflective sort of reflective, and a 3M reflective sort of stripe there, and a nice sort of puff design here. As you'll notice on the front here, this is if we undo the zip here, this is a zipped area. So once we open that, then it's sort of got like a membrane on the inside. So this is sort of like again sort of like a nice inner sock membrane that you can see on the inside, and all of this shoe then is done up via these sort of I suppose what little cords, similar to, I've got a pair of Solomon shoes that are done in a similar way. So as you can see, it's sort of looped around here, few loops, put the shoe on, and you can obviously do that up via the cord, which is a really snug fit, to be fair. I feel really the shoe fits really well, especially with that sort of membrane, and the tongue at the top here actually sits just above the sort of the cuff when it's closed up. So it's great. It doesn't, I think that helps without any sort of rubbing or anything like that on the shoe as well. So so it's pretty protective as well. The boot sits pretty high. You've got this nice sort of membrane on the inside, which is pretty breathable as well, to be fair. So I've had no issues with sort of sweating too much as well, because especially this year as well, it hasn't been too cold during the winter. So I mean, I've been riding into work on days where it's been close to 10 degrees, for example, and not really having too much sweating. And I have a bit of an undulating loop to work as well, so there's some areas where it's pretty hilly. So the shoe itself, yeah, it's been really nice to wear. I do find this shoe came up a little bit big. I do generally wear a 46 in CD. This is the same size shoe, but it's actually a little bit bigger. So what I actually did with this, you can probably see on the inside here, is I've got some insoles that I had spare from a bike fit a few years ago. So I've just added those in, which actually has sort of helped with that. I think if I was to buy another pair, I'd probably go down a size, or at least in the UK, if these were an 11, I'd go to 10 and a half. If these were 46, not sure whether a 45 or 44, I'd probably try. So it's worth just remembering that these boots do come off a little bit bigger than compared to a city shoe, for example. And like I said, on the zip itself as well, I think this really helps to ensure that it's pretty much waterproof. So I've had no issues in terms of, and we've had some pretty bad weather in the UK, to be fair, over the last couple of years. I've had no issues in terms of like water seeping through here. I can imagine if it's a really brutal day and you're out for 3 or 4 hours, possibly, but for me, definitely cycling into work for an hour, my weekend rides of a couple of hours with the club, I've never had any issues with the sort of water ingression in terms of getting into the actual feet. And I've gone through some pretty bad weather on the way in. And I think as well, in terms of the foot plate itself, I think that's just a carbon sole, yeah, quite a standard carbon sole from Fizik. And to be fair, it's pretty good. Like I said, I wear this on my winter bike, but I've had no issues with sort of flexing of the sole or anything like that. I've got a couple of pretty good climbs on the way into work as well, and I've always found the shoe really good in terms of stiffness. Obviously, it's not a high-end premium race shoe, but for me, I've had no issues in terms of power transfer and things like that. I will go out and ride the club rides on a Saturday with these, and we can be putting down some good power on those rides. And again, I've had no issues in terms of power transfer or flexibility of the shoe that you might get with some sort of cheaper road shoes. In terms of the thermal puff as well, this is like a thermal cuff here. So again, it's a little bit of a softer material around here. Really good fit. Had no issues in terms of rubbing or anything like that. So it's a really good fit. My leggings and things will fit down nicely into there. So yeah, really good in terms of that. And like I said, in terms of these compared to an overshoe, for me, some of it's about the speed and the quickness. So in the morning, I've just got to put this shoe on, put my foot in, do up the little elastic or the lacing system, pull up the zip, and I'm gone. And like I said, with overshoes, I have found that can be a little bit faffy sometimes, not all of the time. And also, I've got through quite a few pairs of overshoes in the past, especially with the zips at the back breaking and snapping, or just generally walking around. If you've got overshoes and you've got the straps and the material that sits underneath, sometimes you'll wear through those, or there'll be a lot of they don't tend to last that long, to be fair. I've got through a couple of pairs of overshoes probably in this over a 2-3 year period, and at the moment these have pretty been like I said, I've worn these for a pretty long time. They're pretty sturdy. I've done a lot of mileage in them already. There's no real sort of wear or tear. Yeah, they're looking a bit mucky today, but a good wipe down on these and they'll be like brand new again. So like I said, really pleased with the shoe. I think for me the key takeaways: easy to clean, quick and easy to put on and to wear, very waterproof, really durable, easy to clean as well. So no putting your overshoes into the washing machine and pissing off your partner. So I think for me, yeah, really worthwhile investment. So I don't know whether that shoe's still available. I do think they've got a couple of other shoes that are very similar at the moment. I know City do a very similar sort of boot shoe as well. From memory, they were considerably cheaper than the City variant. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think they were anywhere between 150 to 200. I think I might have paid about 180 for them, something in and around there. But like I said, I wear them quite a lot through the winter. A decent pair of overshoes, you could be looking at 40 quid. I know Spats have got some great sort of waterproof overshoes, but you could be looking anywhere 50 to 100 pound for some of their sort of overshoes. So for me, I've never had any sort of coldness in the feet in terms of the rides that I've been doing in those over the last couple of years. Haven't been going out too much in the sort of -1, -2 sort of weather conditions, just mainly because of getting on the turbo. But great shoe, worthwhile having a think about sort of a winter boot as opposed to a sort of shoe overshoe sort of combination. But any questions, any thoughts, please just put a comment down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Hopefully going to look to do a couple more videos in the coming weeks on other products and clothes and things that I've been sort of wearing and using. But so I hope these videos are useful, and look forward to hopefully posting a couple more videos and getting back to some of your feedback and comments soon. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Have a fantastic start to the year, and see you all soon.